Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kirsten if you are new here. So I know what you're thinking. You noticed this in the background and you want to know more information about what it is. What are they? What are those little creatures in there? Well, I got gerbils. They are the newest addition to our little family. If you didn't know, we have a pomsky and a horse. And now we have two gerbils. If you didn't know, we did have another pomsky puppy that we got back in December. We did rehome her to my mom. Unfortunately, she just wasn't compatible with the dog that we already had. He is a little anxious around other dogs, so until we get that figured out, we wanted to make sure that she had a quality life, and my mom really wanted a pomsky, so it all worked out. In the future, we'd love to have another dog, but for now, there's so much that we have to work on with our other pomsky, Rocky. That's to summarize that other video. If you didn't get to see it, I do recommend watching it if you were invested in our pomsky. If you had no idea we even had another pomsky puppy, just disregard that completely. We have one dog, one horse, and two gerbils now. Today I wanted to answer some of your questions about these little two. I posted a couple pictures on Instagram and Twitter and I got a lot of response. People really like them and I'm so glad because most of my life I actually had gerbils. Most recent gerbils were in middle school, so I had them I think 4th to 8th grade. I had them about 4 years. They passed away when I was in 8th grade and that was the last gerbils that I had. I at that point decided that I didn't really want gerbils anymore, at least pets, but I am back with gerbils. First gerbils that I ever got, I think I was in 2nd grade. That's just an estimate. Honestly, I don't remember the exact age or grade I was in when I first got gerbils. My older brother got a gerbil and then he had babies, and then from there my sister and I kept some of the babies, and then we just kind of never stopped having gerbils until I was in 8th grade was the last time I had gerbils, and my sister had gerbils throughout college. So we're a huge gerbil family. So before we get into some of your questions, I did want to say that this enclosure is not permanent. If you think it is small, I personally think it's a little small. If you think this is large, I think you are wrong, boy. You are wrong. A lot of times people get enclosures or tanks or even wired cages that are just so small. This is a 20-gallon long, so it is technically 20 gallons, but it's shorter and longer. I would like to get a 55 to 75-gallon tank. That way I can put a wheel in there and everything. Rocky's outside the door. Right now, they don't even have a lot of toys because everything's taking super long to deliver. We're gonna wait until after the whole crazy world pandemic thing going on right now to even get a tank, because it's really hard to get a 55 to 75-gallon tank delivered to us. But for now, this is what they're in. I have about 6 to 5, I would say that's about 4 inches to 6 inches of litter in there right now. Really, that's the bare minimum, but I don't want to put in any more because their water bottle will get buried and everything. So I just think that this is too small. That's my personal opinion. Don't worry, it's gonna get bigger for all my gerbil and hamster lovers out there that know better. If you didn't know better, I hope you learned something from that. Yep, this is the bare minimum I think a gerbil should be in. But this is working for them right now. They are pretty happy. They've been digging around. I've had them for 2 days now. It's the 2nd day. He is, I don't know if you can see it, but he's not liking these lights right now, and that's completely understandable. I am so sorry, little guy. I'm so sorry. Why don't we get into the questions? I'm sure you guys are dying to know all the information. So I asked on Instagram and I also asked on Twitter, quite like, what do you guys want to know about these gerbils? And let us begin with the most basic question. What is their names? So their names are, the white one back here, his name is Jinky. Albert named him Jinky. And then that guy over there is my gerbil, and his name is King Louis the 16th. So a little backstory on why they are named that and where those names came from. So Jinky, the little white one right here, he is named Jinky after Jinkies from Scooby-Doo. Albert just thought it was cute. There's nothing really deep about it. And that guy over there, sleepy boy. King Louis XVI is named after King Louis XVI of France. He was the king right before and I think during the French Revolution. I'm not a history buff, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I do know, in my personal opinion, that King Louis XVI did not deserve the guillotine. He was a nice man, and that's for the homies out there that haven't cheated on their wives, and one of the only kings in all of history to not cheat on their wives. I'm just saying. So this is my tribute to King Louis XVI, who did not deserve the guillotine. That guy, right there. What do you think of that, King Louis XVI? Or Louis for short. You can call him Louis. So the next question, what does Rocky think of them? I don't care what he thinks of them. I don't think dogs and gerbils have to get along. My opinion on that is that they are completely different on the food chain. So a dog or a cat is just gonna see them always as either a toy or food, or they're just gonna be too calm or old to give two craps. I know that Rocky probably thinks that these are squirrels and he likes chasing squirrels. We are actually going to be getting a small table that goes here so that they won't be on the floor, so they won't be influenced by Rocky staring at them all the time. But we have to find one that's big enough in the perfect size to fit our wall. So once we find a table that's the right size, then we are good to go. We just have to, I think a 55-gallon tank is almost 40 inches in length, so we're finding, it will probably have to be a TV stand. Doesn't really matter, but yeah. Next question, are they loud at night? They're pretty loud at night. Once we get a wheel in there, we're probably gonna hear a lot more noise, but they're always playing, they're always burrowing, they're always digging. They're gerbils, that's what they do. They're super, super active, guys. They're crazy, they're crazy. How much did everything cost for them? So people have this impression that hamsters, gerbils, rats are cheap little pets. They don't need a ton of space, and that's so wrong. If you want to get a gerbil, hamster, or any other rodent, I totally think they're great pets, but make sure that you're investing all the correct supplies and money into getting them. This cage off of Amazon, this is a 20-gallon long tank. This costed us $100. Sometimes you can find them cheaper in the pet store, but overall, the cage alone is probably going to cost around $100 for a glass aquarium tank, which is what gerbils should be living in. The litter is pretty expensive. I think it's like $15. So overall, the gerbils themselves and all the supplies, including housing, they're going to be chewing a lot of stuff. Expect to pay anywhere from $150 to $200 just to get the gerbils, not including the litter and the food and the toys that you're going to be constantly buying them, because they're gonna need it. So if you are interested in a small pet, at least for gerbils, I can say about $150 to $200 if you want to do it right and correct and humanely. Where did you get them? So this is a part that I almost didn't want to respond to. Unfortunately, I got them from PetSmart, and before you say, oh my god, that's so bad, I know it's not a good place to get animals from a corporate pet store like PetSmart, Petco, or anything like that. However, I did beforehand check everywhere. I checked my state, I looked for breeders and rescues, and even things like Craigslist to see if anyone was rehoming them. I did reach out to one breeder in my area. She unfortunately was no longer breeding gerbils, so she did give me names of some rescues in the area as well, but they were, or in the state at least, and they were just too far of a drive. We're talking about like a few hours, and with everything going on in the world, I was like, I don't really want to drive a few hours and like risk getting sick. I just don't want to really do that. Oh, and then I did reach out to one person on Craigslist who was trying to rehome their gerbils, but they didn't get back to me until after I had already picked up these guys, so it's unfortunately a little bit too late, but I would have gone with those guys. They were a little bit older too. How do you this one, I think they meant how do you get them a bath without drowning them? Okay. Sorry, my boyfriend went for a bike ride, so he was coming home. I had to open the door for him. Back to where we left off. They were wanting to know how you give them a bath. I am out of breath because I was running to the door. You don't bathe gerbils in water. You dust bathe them. So they like rolling around in dust, and it cleans their oils and everything. So do not bathe your hamster or gerbil. They don't need it. It's not good for them. So they wanted to know, was it a spontaneous decision or was it planned? So what happened it was pretty planned, but the idea came from my boyfriend's editor, Paige. She posted that she wanted gerbils, and then found out, unfortunately, that gerbils were illegal in California, the state that she lives in. But I did reach out to her, and I was like, you should do it, and they're awesome pets. And then she found out, and she got a hamster who's super cute. His name is Franklin. But then that idea got drilled in my head, and I was like, gerbils are so cute and I would like to have gerbils again. So that's how it happened. On Twitter, my girl Kenzie asked, is it easy taking care of gerbils? In my opinion, yes. However, it might be harder for other people to stay motivated, to stay on top of maintaining their pets like gerbils or hamsters, because honestly, they aren't super cuddly, they're not super playful, and especially with children, their attention span will probably not be, how do I put that? They'll get bored of them. But I do think it is pretty easy to maintain gerbils. My girl Nessa, my voice cracked. My girl Nessa asked, how are they adjusting so far? They are doing really well. Yesterday, they honestly were doing a little better. And today, at least Jinky's doing better today. I would say Louie's doing worse today. Louie was so confident yesterday, and I think it hit him today that he was like, wait, you mean I'm not going back? And it's just, he's having a bad day. And Jinky is just having the time of his life, and he's really opened up. They're doing good though. Lots of work with them. So this question is, would you ever consider getting more? And the question, or answer, the answer is yes. I would love to get more gerbils, and Albert and I have discussed this. We are not gonna get more gerbils in this house. We're gonna wait until we get a bigger house, and then what we'll do is we'll probably get a room dedicated to the gerbils and bigger tanks and enclosures for all the gerbils. But we'll see. I mean, that's all so far in the future, but we do want other gerbils. Are they very active or lazy all the time? So active. Gerbils are, in my opinion, so much more fun than hamsters. They go and go and go. They burrow and they dig and they chew, and they squeak at each other. And they also do better in pairs, so they're always playing with each other and interacting, and I just think it's so much fun. So yeah, that's all the questions that I'm gonna answer. If you have more questions, or you want to give me some advice, or you have good cage recommendations or anything like that, make sure to leave a comment below. I will be reading a lot of the comments and responding when I can or should. But before I end the video, I am going to go ahead and try and pull them out. Also, when I have more time, I usually try and let them come to me. This is Jicky. He is so freaking cute. This is Albert's gerbil, but they're both our gerbils in a way, if that makes sense. He is so sweet. I love him so much. He's just not a fan. He's not a fan of the lights. Put him back. All right, so those are my gerbils. Like I said, if you have any recommendations or questions, leave a comment below. If you want to see more gerbil content, leave a thumbs up or don't. I know some people hate when I say that, and I'm so sorry. I totally get it. I'm really bad at outros. I am so sorry. I hope I can get better at that. Goodbyes are hard and poetic and sad, and people always say I cried on my videos, but do you believe me? I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that is. You never know with me. You never know. Who knows? I will see you guys later.